Hi, it's Butch with Talk with Butch Tuesdays. And I'm here, as I always am on Tuesday, between noon and 2 o'clock at the Starbucks at Bethany Home in 16th Street to help answer your questions about real estate. Today we are joined by Jonathan Bengal of JB Financial LLC. Why can't I remember that? JBFinancialLLC.com. We'll talk to Jonathan in a few minutes. Also joining us today is Richard Silva of Lone Star Home Lending. Richard is one of the most awesome loan officers in the world. How are you doing today, Richard?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for that, Butch.
Good. Today, we're just kind of hanging out, talking about what's happening in the marketplace. I have something new this week to show, though. One of the things that I do with my business is I always have tools for my clients, and I just got my new buyer's book printed by DNL Press at a very good price. They did a beautiful, beautiful job with it. Whenever I meet with a new buyer, the first thing we do is sit down, spend about an hour, because I really want to understand what my clients' needs are. So if I can help them, I want to be their realtor, and if I can't help them, I would rather let them know up front than disappoint them down the road where we can't do that. So this is Jonathan Bengal. Jonathan is the owner of JB Financial LLC. He is a registered
paid tax return preparer.
Yeah, there he goes. He knows his tax stuff. So Jonathan, if you were a first-time buyer, what are the things you should look out for, tax-wise, when you buy your first house?
When you're buying your first home, it's definitely important to pay attention to the interest. However, what's nice about that is it becomes tax deductible up to a certain limit, and also your real estate taxes become deductible. Your taxes on other ordinary things you might purchase could potentially be tax deductible. If you're self-employed and you're working around your home, there are certain deductions now you can claim that could potentially help with your tax situation. So there's a lot to do when owning a home for the first time that all of a sudden, as an ordinary person who's renting, doesn't normally get. So think of it as a way the federal government rewards you for purchasing a home.
So if I'm used to doing my own taxes and I buy a house, I should have somebody else do my taxes at least that first year, right?
I would highly recommend it, especially because there's so many new opportunities that arise out of the fact that now you've purchased a home that you may not necessarily be aware of. However, a tax professional would know what deductions you could take.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
So, Richard, here's a question. I keep hearing that it's harder to get a loan today than it's ever been for people. Is that true?
You know what? That's a myth. I would say we are requiring more information from you, but it's not harder each and every day. Example, this morning, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac released some new items when we wouldn't need that we needed a week ago. So it's consistently changing.
Who were Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac?
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are who own about 80% of the mortgages out there. That's who they're eventually sold to. It's the government.
So they get to set all the rules then.
Exactly.
I got it.
Just so that we don't run into what we did a couple of years back, especially in the Valley, with property values, and we don't want to see that happen again.
So basically, if someone's thinking about buying a home and they think, I really can't qualify, they really don't know.
Exactly. There are just so many different products that are available for people today that we didn't have 6 months ago. We have buyers that, I don't have the credit. Well, let me find out if you do, and you'd be surprised how many people I've helped get into a home. It just depends on your scenario. It's not cookie cutter. We find out what works for you specifically, and we go with that.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you.
Also visiting today at Starbucks.
I'm typically the last person to the home, and I'll go through the property with a fine-tooth comb, and then after 2 or 3 hours I can answer any question about the condition and give you my opinion of whether or not those conditions may affect your decision to purchase the home.
Well, how do you pick an insurance agent? All the insurance companies that are out there, how do you decide who to go with? Why would I use Farmers instead of State Farm or Allstate or Joe's Insurance Company around the corner?
Really sitting down with an agent who's going to listen to your specific situation and has plans that they can customize your coverage to your risk tolerance and your situation and budget.
What's your drink of choice at Starbucks?
This would be black tea, shaken, not stirred.
Shaken black tea. And John, what are you drinking?
Spiced root beer.
Spiced root beer. Richie?
I am having a Venti Skinny Vanilla.
So that's kind of what Talk with Butch Tuesdays is all about. Come and get your questions answered. Find out about buying a home, find out about insurance, mortgage, and whatever. We're here every Tuesday at the Starbucks at 16th Street and Bethany Home Road. come visit us. I'll pay for your coffee, and let's talk real estate. Because you can talk to a lender, you can talk to an insurance guy, you can talk to a home inspector, or you can come and talk with Butch.